Okay, hello, this is the Open Source Circular Economy Days 2015, and this is our final interview in the edition of the OSCEdays in 2015. And we are here in Berlin. My name is Lars.
My name is Michaela.
And you can see behind us, it's the Berlin night sky.
Nice.
Because in Berlin, it's 2 a.m. So here, the OSCEdays are already over, but we are on here with Nicolette and John, who are in Chicago, and with Sylvia, who's in Indianapolis. We're still June 15th, and the OSCEdays are still going on. And we start with Nicolette and John. Hey, how are you? And tell us a little bit about your event. How is it? How many people are there? And what are you guys doing?
Great.
Sure.
Hey, guys.
So for OSCEdays in Chicago, we decided to take the approach of asking organizations across the city how do they define the circular economy, or what does the circular economy mean to them. So since June 11th through the 15th, we have been hosting events around the city, around circular economy principles. And today we're hosting a closing reception where we're featuring the descriptions we've received about different circular economy definitions from Chicago organizations and businesses.
So we're here at Navy Pier, which is a common tourist attraction here in Chicago, and we're at WBEZ, which is the public radio station. And we're in the middle of a crazy storm, so our crowd's a little smaller than expected. Also, our hockey team is in the national championship tonight. So a lot of people are watching hockey tonight. So a strange coincidence of events. But we've got a great crowd already of people. We've got some folks from the French consulate. We've got a couple local software folks, engineers, some volunteers at the organization I work at, the plant, and some folks from the city and county, Cook County and city of Chicago. So should be a pretty good discussion. And we had beer donated.
Yeah,
so.
We have some snacks and some beer too, from good circular economy supporting organizations.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's one thing I learned from Clay Shirky, how to get software developers and designers talk to each other. Beer. You need
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's your perspective on the question of the OSCEdays, which is open source for circular economy? Why were you interested in joining this, and why do you think that open source and circular economy make a good couple?
So I work for Plant Chicago, which is an urban agriculture and technology organization here in Chicago. And open source circular economy is squarely in the center of what we do. We have a farm, and I think maybe we can show you the little aquarium system. Can we walk over there?
Yeah,
okay. So I'm going to show you guys our little aquaponics system here. We have a little tilapia living in a tank with some plants. This is our traveling aquaponic farm. Can you see Spider-Man the fish there?
Oh, wow.
That's his name, Spider-Man. But anyways, that's what our organization does. We do urban farming, and we have an aquaponics farm in an old factory building on the south side of Chicago. And one of our goals in 2015 is to open source our designs. So when I heard about open source circular economy, we're very not familiar with what open sourcing requires and what it means. So I've learned a lot following the forum. Lars, I watched the video that you made, what is open source? So we just learned a lot over the weekend about what open sourcing really is. We're interested in the circular economy conceptually, but what is open source is something we didn't know very much about. Nicolette, you want to talk?
Yeah, sure.
Wrong one.
For myself, I do a lot of work in waste and materials reuse, so circular economy is very much a part of that process where redesigning, policy, manufacturing, production are all interrelated. So like you said, getting the product designers and software developers and all of these people talking to each other is really important. So I really like the framework of the circular economy as opposed to the framework of sustainability, which is very disparate. because it's very inclusive. And the open source, I think, is incredibly important because it provides access across many, many barriers that could be economic, that could be cultural, and even the participation of the OSCEdays forum has been incredible, and I have been very excited to learn from other people around the country. I asked one question earlier into the forum, what is circular economy, and got amazing responses from people around the world. It was an incredible sense of community. So I'm very impressed and excited to participate.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, that's one of the big things of open source. It's about collaboration and community. And John, I think you might be thrilled to hear that here in Germany we have a little startup called Plants and Machines, and they build open source hardware aquaponic robots. So they thank you, and they do it open source. So check out their website, Plants and Machines. Maybe you can connect from each other and develop something together. Be nice.
Plants like PLANTS, Plants and Machines.
Yeah,
oh wow!
Nice.
It's really an awesome gang of young developers. Cool people.
Cool.
Do you plan to document the things you do during your event? And if so, where can we find the documentation? Will you use our forum?
Yes, so we have documented different things that took place over the weekend, and we'll be taking pictures tonight, as well as we put together a couple of presentations, and we plan to share them through the forum and through the OSCEdays website.
Wonderful.
Sylvia, do you have a question for Nicolette and John? Sylvia?
Hi, John and Nicolette. I'm so pleased to see you in person. I know a lot about the plant. I've been using it as an inspiration for the circular economy, and particularly for repurposing of buildings, of which unfortunately we have plenty in the Midwest, but you've done an excellent job of taking an abandoned factory and bringing it back to life, and bringing it back to life in something very actual, very modern, and also of the future. Nicolette, we also have something in common. I know that you are involved with Engineers for a Sustainable World. I'm a member of it, so it's a small world after all. I'm also delighted to be in your company and in the company of Chicago, as the other American city that participated in the Open Source Circular Economy Day. So I'm very proud about us, the Midwesterners. So maybe next time we'll organize some reciprocal events in both cities.
I'm going to ask Sylvia now about your event in Indianapolis, but I'm not sure, John and Nicolette, I saw that you have a lot of guests, and will it be rude if you stay 10 more minutes in the call, or do you want to leave now the call and say hi to your to people that came to your venue, or can you stay? Do you want to stay?
Can we do 5 minutes?
Yeah, we'll stay for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. So drop out whenever you can. Maybe before I ask everyone to send some final words of wisdom, a message. Is there something you want to say to the community of the OSCEdays? Something to share, to spread?
Let's do it again.
Yeah, and thanks for all the cool ideas. I mean, the forum is full of it. We're actually going to present tonight some of the photos from the forum and the Twitter feed here to show people what other people around the world are doing. I think sometimes Americans forget the rest of the world is out there, so so we'll be showing off all the cool things other people did. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Cool. Yeah, we will stay in touch.
Thank you.
Everyone agrees, most people agree this has to be an ongoing thing. Okay.
And we'll stay on and hear a little bit from Sylvia, but then we may drop off.
Well, if you have a question to Sylvia, ask it. So Sylvia, tell us a little bit about your event. I know wasn't happening today. It was happening 2 days ago, I think. How was it? How many people were there, and what did you guys do?
So we had 2 events. One was hosted by a small business in Indianapolis, which does rapid prototyping. It's called Impressive Prototypes, LLC, and it's also an example of a circular economy, of a business that has taken the equipment and the people that would have been displaced by outsourcing and offshoring, and continued their work in a different setting. And they're very successful. They're growing steadily. They do very interesting work, and it was exciting to see a practical example of an open source hardware. They do 3D printing among other processes, and one of the printer is an open source one, and they're very happy with it. They troubleshoot it with a global community, not necessarily with the producer. So a very an excellent example for our days. The other event was about bio-based materials, energy and water in the circular economy. And it was also very useful to learn myself about my own community, how many things are taking place, whether people are aware that they belong to the circular economy or not. They're mostly unaware that they're already doing things that belong to the circular economy. We didn't have large groups for many reasons, like Friday evening on a hot summer day in Indianapolis. It's difficult to bring people in. But the people who were there were very interested. Like you, Nicolette and John, will learn a lot from the community. It is very clear that this is the way of the future. This is the way how knowledge and practice will be built, by this free exchange between people with common goals and people who are open to collaboration and sharing.
And I know, Silvia, that you are a very well experienced sustainability expert. And I want to ask you, through the OSCEdays, next to the learnings you already mentioned, what was one of the big learnings you had by joining this community?
On how many things are already happening and we don't necessarily learn about them. So we don't need to waste time in experimenting with some of the concepts of the circular economy, but we just need to open up and find the right community to learn about what is already happening. Another surprise is how people from very different backgrounds, from very different areas, have the same ideas of how the future should look like, not only in industry, not only in engineering, not only in design, but in living in general.
That's exactly one in the open source. So one of the things always mentioned is you don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. If you share things and meet online, you can really start to collaborate and make faster progress. And it seems that you experienced that. Nicolette and John, do you have a question for Silvia, or are you good? Wait, I have to turn on your microphone. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I think my question for Silvia is: you said you were using the plants for some inspiration. Have you been before? Have you visited?
No. I'm inviting myself to
cool. Well, you can come anytime. Let us know. And then I wanted to mention Gary Urban Farms is starting a similar effort in Gary, Indiana. So I think this trend of old industrial buildings in the Midwest for productivity again is really interesting. So we should talk further.
We all stay connected in the forums. So Silvia, now it's your turn for some final words of wisdom, a message you want to send to the community. You already joined us in the opening ceremony, but maybe you have something more you want to share.
Well, to the whole world, come on in. We're open for business and open for your ideas, and we're ready to change the world today.
Woohoo.
That was the final statement of the OSCEdays in 2015, everybody. Thanks
Nice.
to and thanks to
Very
everyone
cool.
for joining us.
Lars, thank you very much for all your hard work.
Lars, nice work, man.
Very amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for your work. Thanks for joining this. Yeah. Okay, hopefully we all see each other again next year.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's collaborate.
Good stuff, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All
Have
the
fun at
best.
your event.
Bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sophia.